Welcome everyone to today's Empyrion Workshop Showcase. Join me as we take a look at the RabbitStar Armed. Today we are taking a creator requested look at the RabbitStar Armed, which is an unlock level 25 size class 7 capital vessel coming to us from creator CaptnJonesy. Now I'm sure some people are going to have some issues with the blockier top look to the exterior. And honestly, to me, other than the color scheme, it does sort of remind me of the Jawa transport from Star Wars. But personal preferences on looks aside, it does come with a full complement of weapons and some nice creative choices inside that add some elements we don't normally see in the designs. Now I'm going to go ahead and point out something that some of you may have already noticed, and that is while the name of the ship from the workshop is RabbitStar with 2 B's, on the ship itself here, you see it is missing one of those B's. I think this is more likely a case of the creator running out of room when trying to put the name on it, rather than an oversight because they do have it spelled the same way on both sides. On the front of the vessel, underneath the little overhang, we do have a ramp that extends down from our cargo bay door, where we come up into a nice spacious little hangar bay. In the middle of the floor, we have our repair bay module, which has 4 lights around it pulsing on and off. On the sides, we have fuel tanks and O2 tanks, as well as oxygen station, armor lockers, and a repair station. Up on the ledges, you see we have cargo boxes, as well as A, B, C, D, which marks our advanced constructors on the other side of the cargo boxes. Now, this cargo box and constructor setup is nice for players like myself who prefer to actually interact with the cargo boxes rather than doing so through the control panel. You can park right next to them and load into them from your hover vessel or small vessel, and when you need the supplies, you are right there next to them when you're standing by your advanced constructors. Going into the doorway here between the 2 upper areas, we come into our engineering where we have our gravity generator, our largest generator, and some more decorative fuel storage and oxygen storage, making this feel like a very engineering style room. Next to each pair of constructors, we have an elevator that leads us up to the upper areas of the ship. First, stopping with the upper balcony areas here, with only one side having the repair bay control console. The next floor up is a little bit more storage space, but mostly it is your harvest cargo boxes and your ammo boxes. We also have nice viewports looking down into the hangar bay below. Now on one side of the room there is an extra cargo box, however on the other side we have an extra door. Going down the stairs in here, we come through another doorway into another engineering area where we have our warp drive fuel tank, and some more fuel storage. The top door here leads us into the upper deck area, where first you will be greeted on either side by another elevator, and you will have signs that tell you which way to go. On each side you will see a smaller generator along the wall, as well as an O2 station. And one side will have the doorway to the lounge and bunk area, while the other side takes you into the cafe, garden, and stage area. Coming into the bunk area, you will first be greeted by the captain's quarters, which is pretty nice. It's a very luxurious looking room. However, there's a pair of bunk beds at the entry area. Coming up the stairs here, we have a much more luxurious, nicer area that you would expect for it to be the captain's quarters. Next up is the crew quarters area, where we have a similar setup to the captain's quarters. We have some bunk beds as we come in, we have some closets, and at the top of the stairs we have another bunk bed set. Towards the end of the hallway we have our medical bay, where we come in and find our different medical scanners, as well as toilet and shower. We have our medic station, and at the very top of this area we have our patient beds and our clone chamber. But at the very end of the hallway we have our lounge area, where we have some nice seating and just a nice little place for the crew to come and hang out and relax while they are not working. Now on this side, entering into this section, we come into our garden area, where we have some not symmetrical garden plot sections. Now the grow lights are always on pretty much. However, we do have some additional lights on the other sections of this that are controlled by different switches in the area. Next to the door where we came in, you will see a sign and a switch for the commissary lots. At the end of the grow plot area, we have 3 fridges, 3 food processors, and 3 cargo boxes stacked on top. On the other side of the food processors, we come to the stage and dance floor, which is something we don't normally see in some of these creations. And at the other end, we have the commissary lounge type area where everybody can come and relax and eat. Over here by the door leading into the lounge, we have another switch for the commissary lots, which lights up most of the area with just nice, clean, bright white light. However, next to the dance floor, we do have a switch for the dance floor lots, and this is a very nice touch because it has a very pulsing pattern for people who want to come and dance. On the other side of the food processors, we also have a set of stairs leading up to the stage, and we have a switch for the stage lights. Once again, we get another nice pulsing pattern that is handled by some very nice signal logic. Back in this room, we do have the elevators where we came up into here, and we have other elevators leading further up in the ship. But first, before we go any further, I want to point out kind of a bad design choice in my opinion. We have these weirdly placed cargo boxes up in the very ceiling area, kind of tucked away where you almost don't notice them, but then you kind of do, and once you do, they kind of stick out like a sore thumb, at least in my opinion. And taking the other elevators on either side, we come up into the bridge area. As you see, we have several seats in here, 4 captain seats and 2 passenger seats. Now, there is one thing I want to point out cosmetically that's an issue here, and that is there is a gap here where you can come out of the elevators bypassing the door. So from a cosmetic standpoint, if this was meant to be a security door, you can just walk right past it and not even have to worry about it. And taking the middle door here, we come out to the top side of the ship where we do have maintenance access to our different turrets. Once again, this is the RabbitStar Armed, and it is an unlock level 25 size class 7 capital vessel. It comes with 27 fuel tanks for a capacity of 162,000 fuel, and sitting still with thrusters and weapons turned off, it has over 140 hours of use, so it's got a lot of fuel storage, which means you've got a lot of longevity. But when you turn on thrusters and weapons, even just sitting still, that quickly drops to just over 60 hours of use. It also comes with 12 oxygen tanks for a total capacity of 24,000 O2 and needs 3,131 to fill it up. There are 11 ventilators and 4 oxygen stations, as well as the 1 medic station and 1 clone chamber. For weaponry, this is fully loaded with 2 artillery turrets, 3 minigun turrets, 6 pulse lasers, 9 cannon turrets, 2 drill laser modules, 6 plasma turrets, 2 pulse laser turrets, 4 rocket turrets, 8 sentry guns, 3 flak turrets, and 4 rocket launchers. It also carries 31 cargo boxes and 3 ammo boxes, along with the 3 fridges, 3 food processors, and 4 advanced constructors. When it comes to building this, you will of course need a good bit of sathium and iron. However, the numbers for these are not that bad in comparison to the over 5,000 neodymium and 3,702 of Restrum Zascosium. Now, to me, this is a good attempt at a ship design. It has a lot of features that makes it very usable in terms of just general gameplay. But like I said, some people may find the overall design to be a little bit too blocky for their taste. Now, surprisingly, this ship is actually fairly maneuverable. It has a very good turn speed, but I do not see this as being a dogfight type ship. While it is certainly capable of turning around quickly enough to do some shooting like that, I don't think you will really use it that way that much. So if you want to build this and want to cut down on the resource cost, take out some of the forward firing weapons or take them out completely and free up some of those resources. Now, one thing I really like about this was the inclusion of the stage and dance floor, because let's face it, when you're out in space or out on a cruise ship for a while, you're going to want some entertainment. And who's to say that advanced human civilization won't still have karaoke going on? Once again, this is the RabbitStar Armed by CaptnJonesy, and I will have a link in the description below if you want to try it out in your own game. If, of course, you try it out in your game and you like it, be sure to leave a thumbs up and a nice comment for CaptnJonesy on the workshop page. That is it for today's video. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave me a like, leave me a comment below, and hit subscribe if you haven't done so already. As always, I'm your host, Mr. Spicy. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to keep it spicy this week, and I will see you in the next video.